It sounds like you've done a lot of self discovery or self interest. You've gone in a lot, and this
Yeah.
podcast is really all about mindset. And
Yes.
I'm just wondering if you can share, or if there's something, the thoughts that got you to this place right now, right? Because where we were 10 years ago when we worked at the showcase, or however long it was,
Yeah.
we feel like different people a little bit, right?
Yes.
I mean, we should, by the way.
I mean, cellularly, we are different people now.
We are.
We
And
have, yeah.
yeah. So
We are
what
different
thoughts got you
people.
to this place?
Ah, well, the thoughts, it's an everyday process for me, Tuan. And I wanted to hear some of the things that maybe even you think about, because I know you're very introspective, and obviously you have an entire podcast about mindset, and it's everything that your mental game is everything.
Everything.
Um, and I don't know if you've ever here. I actually have this book, The War of Art.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
book, right?
Mhm.
This is the first time I learned about resistance and, you know, the feeling inside of, I don't want to do that. Oh
Mhm.
man, I don't do that.
Mhm.
I have to battle it every day,
Yeah.
to exercise, to meditate, to do anything positive for myself. I have to fight for it.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and to do self tapes and to stay in my class. So that is it. It is me, working through the steps that I know I need to take now
Mm.
to get to
Yeah.
a place where I'm really content.
Mm.
Not necessarily like happy,
Yeah.
but I can't tell you the feeling of the end of the day where I have done my self tape for the day,
Mhm.
or I have exercised for the day, and how much better I feel.
Mhm. Yeah.
It is sort of going to battle with yourself, and I do have to do that.
Yeah. I
I
think.
don't want everyone to feel like, I think everyone feels that when
Mhm.
the days that are hard. And
What, you're not a
sometimes
positive person? You're not a positive person all the time, and you don't just get it done, right?
it's exhausting. I wish it was easy. In fact, yesterday I did a self tape and I was editing it, and I just looked over to my partner and was like, man, acting is hard. Because it was a really heavy scene and
Yeah.
I had a lot of visualizing to do and it was really sad. But yeah, you just keep going.
Yeah. You do just keep going. And
You
you know,
just
I
keep going. And you self-love. You gotta self-love, because if you don't self-love, you'll self-destruct. And I've done that. I've done
yeah,
both
yeah.
now. I know what both sides feel like.
I try to make sure that everybody knows a couple of things about me, because I think people will see me and they think automatically, oh, you're a positive guy, Dwan. You're so
Totally.
positive. You're such a, and the thing is, like, that to me is, I just have a lot more tools in my tool belt to pull out when I'm not feeling, you know what I mean? When I'm feeling, oh, I didn't book that, or that pin didn't turn into a booking,
Mm.
or just like, I just don't feel like fucking doing this self tape. Excuse my language. I
Yes.
don't feel like doing this self. Like, it's like, come on, what's the point? And then you have to self love. Oh, you're feeling a little bit of this. Oh, here's what's going on. Let's take that time for yourself, Dewan, and then we'll get back on the horse from a different space.
So is that what you do? Like, do you have to like self-talk yourself into these spaces? Like, is that
Yes.
a tool that you use?
I do use, it's funny you asked me this. I'm going to show you something. Everybody, if you're watching this, this is not planned at all.
Yes.
That to make sure, what we try to do is we try to push ourselves from that space of resistance, right?
Yes.
And that is not going to produce the stuff that you think you want to produce. Because on the other side of that, you're like, oh, right. And so I have to get myself back in alignment from a place of ease, from a place of joy, from a
Yeah.
place of like, oh, here's the space of a possibility. Right.
Yeah.
I try to get back into that space and
Yeah.
then act from that space. What I
Yes.
do to keep myself very, very like in alignment as much as possible, so I can like live in that space a lot, is I
Mhm.
ask myself questions from the space where I want to be. Starting with,
Oh.
I say, you can't see this, but it says, what would series regular Dewan do?
Mm.
right? And because if I want to be that and I'm there, instead of I'm thinking those thoughts already, so it's not a big jump from where I am.
Yes,
It's already the space of where I'm at. So when you're talking
exactly.
about earlier, I didn't want to cut you off, but when you're talking about focus, where you're saying, I don't want to go out drinking or hanging out with my friends or something like that, I ask myself questions from that space so that it's not a big
Yes.
jump. What does the awesome parent DaJuan want to, where does he want to operate from, so that I'm not operating from this space of like, these kids are driving me crazy, right? But I'm operating from a different space. Do I always achieve that? No, but that is what my alignment. I keep it in spaces so that I can see that.
I love
Oh,
it.
answer that from that space. That's how I would say to your what I do often, because Mapuana, we've been on auditions. If we look at our catalog, we probably have done 100 auditions over this
At
pandemic.
least, yeah, yeah.
And
A
so, but how do
lot.
we keep motivating ourselves? Right? People think you, maybe other people come from a space of constant motivation. No, I have to, just like a shower, I got to remotivate myself.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm in class. I didn't think like
Mhm.
once, there's a thing that you think, okay, well, once I'm a series regular, like, why don't I.
Yeah.
It's like, no, because that's one character.
Mhm.
I still have all these other things that I want to keep working on so that those things don't lose their flexibility.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get self tapes, I get really nervous
Mhm.
and so I like doing 3 a week or whatever a week so that when I get them, I'm not like, oh my God, how do I prepare? No, I've been in practice. I've been doing it. I've been doing this. I know how to do this,
You have to remind yourself of that, right?